everybody, welcome back to Heavy Metal Models. In 1968, Lincoln Motor Company debuted the Lincoln Continental Mark III. And that confused a lot of people because there had already been a Mark III at the end of the 1950s. But according to Henry Ford II, who was running things at the time, the explanation was simple. That 1950s Continental Mark III wasn't really good looking enough to carry the Continental name. So therefore, this new car would carry the standard forward. It was an interesting call, but it was really a beautiful car. It had the same proportions generally as the original Continental and the Continental Mark II of the mid-50s, and this car was going to go head-to-head with Cadillac's heavyweight, the Eldorado. Be that as it may, a gorgeous car needs to be remembered in history, and Automodello's been making some great calls with cars like this. This latest model in 1/24th scale is absolutely gorgeous, and it might be the most beautiful 1/24th resin cast I've ever seen. Check this thing out. We got two cars in for review, one in ginger bronze moon dust with a tobacco interior and another in red moon dust with a dark red cabin. Now the cars arrived, as all of this maker's larger scale offerings do, in these beautiful presentation boxes with removable side pieces and sateen ribbons to help bring the cars out on their plinths. Once they were out, it took only a moment to realize that Automodello's resin-cast Lincoln Mark III is as perfect-looking a model car as I've yet seen from this maker. The body's lines are exact, as is the way the many detail pieces have been fitted into the beautifully painted bodies. The paint is sweet, and the contrasting tones of the vinyl roofs reads like the real thing. It's not too glossy, but it's not too flat. It's just right. So is the scale and the scope of all the applied bits of trim. The Mark was a comparatively understated car, but that hasn't kept Automodello from putting what looks to be a great deal of effort into the trim atop the fenders, the bright work around the glass, and even the scarcely there wheel well moldings. My favorite parts, aside from the classic Mark grille, is the wee scripts that dot the car's body at the headlight door, the rear fenders, and at the lower front and trunk hump. Wow, this is great work. Now, being a resin cast, the car is mostly a curbside piece, but the moonroof panel lifts off, and that offers up a bird's eye view of the full interior with its wood grain door panels, cross-tufted seats, and a crisp dash that's been decoed with a decent set of appliques for the gauges and controls. Up front and at the rear, the Mark's bumpers have been deeply flashed and set into the casting alongside some great lensing and more of that neatly applied trim. With the exception of a crooked piece of chrome on the taillight, every bit of the car's jewelry looks real, and the whole thing is set off by a neat, correct pinstripe and a killer set of wide white wall tires and Lincoln wheel covers. There's not a lot to see beneath the models, save for some nice profile-enhancing chassis details and a set of twin downpipes at the rear. But one thing is for sure, this is a beautiful model car from one of the hobby's premium suppliers. And this one is sure to make a mark in a lot of collections. It's a beautiful piece, isn't it? It's just one of the cars that these guys could do from the era, and I'd really love to see them take the Lincoln and park it next to a brand new 67 Eldorado, kind of get that whole arch rival thing happening. You know, this is a company that's making some great calls. They know the resin market well enough to know just how far they can extend themselves out there and still make a viable business plan for good release, and they know their collector base well enough to make that work. What a great company, what a great model car. I give it 4 Henrys. It's really beautiful. Done. Now these two that you saw today, the ginger bronze metallic one, the darker brown one, that's a limited edition. Only 171 of those are going to be made, and they're on the market, still available for $371. The other car, the moondust red car, is a very kind of a gray area. They say they can make up to 499 cars. In other words, they're not going to make 499, but they could get that high. Those are on the market for $299.99. Beautiful model cars, all highly recommended. Check them out at Automodello.com or check out the diechasm.com website, where the cars are also offered for sale. Hey, I want to thank you guys for coming down and checking out this show every day. You know we run the show Monday through Friday, and we do appreciate your comments, your suggestions, and most of all, just the fact that you're coming down and taking the time to contact me. Really do appreciate it. Keep doing it. Come down and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.